Good morning and hello, and good afternoon and good evening. Welcome to the Gothic Brunch. I will be your host and DM, Kyle Maxwell. I use he, him pronouns, and these are my wonderful, wonderful friends who have agreed to join me in our adventure here. Let me very quickly then go around real quickly, let everybody introduce themselves, and then we will talk about the game that we will be running. Hopefully, the sound is okay. Hopefully, somebody will let me know in Twitch chat or in Zoom chat if not. We'll go then from left to right, starting with Emma.
Hello, I'm Emma. You can find me at MK Hansen on Twitter. And today I will be playing Annabelle, the ancestral guardian barbarian.
And then next, our friend Val.
Hello, my name is Val. I have to keep this perpetual smirk on to make the mustache that I made look right. So it's on brand for this character, but also I feel mean. Val, I use she, her pronouns. I'll be playing Ambrosia, who uses they, them pronouns. The Archfey Warlock. Da-da-da.
Oh, this is so amazing. And next, the pun bard himself.
Yes, hi. My name is Adam. I'm known as @Peter Voss on Twitter, also known as the hashtag PunBard. I will be play testing a class for this game called the Tool List, which you'll see more of as the game goes on. Also, just wanted to do a quick shout out. Happy Father's Day to everybody out there who's a dad or
Dad-like figure, yeah.
Yeah. And just want to also shout out for my wife. She got me this red robe, so I get to cosplay as Barry Blue Jeans at some point in the future. So I'm super excited about that.
It's amazing. And finally, the experience himself.
Okay, doing great. I am Matthew Foreman. I am at Matthew W. Foreman on Twitter. I use he, him pronouns. I'll be playing Delilah Barrelhaunt. She is a cleric of the grave, and she uses she, her pronouns. And she's not evil in this one. Well, I guess we'll see.
I mean, so that's a good, actually, segue into our discussion of this campaign very briefly. So, first of all, as we get started, I just want to mention for the month of June, for Pride Month, all donations, bits, subscriptions, all of any of those things coming into variant roles are being donated to Trans Lifeline, a charity, a 501c3 charity that helps out our trans friends and family who need support in various ways. So, feel free to just shower us in bits, but really it's showering Trans Lifeline in bits. So they've reached out to the channel, and they're very grateful and appreciative of the help and support that we're sending. So give them your love, and we are here for that. So let's talk a little bit about Gothic Brunch. It is brunch time for most of us on this channel. Val is in another time zone, but as she says, Val, what is it? What is the reason that we named this Gothic Brunch?
Because I'm gay, and thus every meal is brunch.
I can't tell you how much I love that.
It's a
so. We are in the land of Krevborna. Krevborna is a setting written by, what name does he use for this? Jack Shear, who is a content creator, Gothic professor, et cetera, et cetera. And it is a setting somewhat like an early modern era Eastern Europe, though not, obviously the same. There are changes. Krevborna is a land where the gods are not present. The gods have taken their leave for unknown reasons. The nobility has fallen. and thus the closest thing to an authority over the land ish is the Church of Saintly Blood. But most settlements and villages are sort of self-governed. There are a few major cities, and those cities certainly have their local governments. In two of them, the local governments are the church. So um, the thing is that since the gods have withdrawn from the land, evil has sprung up. There are monsters of every sort through the land. There are undead. There are lycanthropes. There are occasional mischievous fae. There are other sorts of abominations and aberrations from beyond the far realms. And and because of that, one of the fun things about this setting is people are more worried about whether or not the undead will rise and kill them all than what their neighbors really like. So it leads to a sort of us versus them, where us are all the people that aren't trying to eat you, and them are all the terrible monsters that are. Our adventurers, who will reintroduce ourselves in a moment and talk about how they are together, are in this world, and the whole goal of this is for them in some way to at least light a candle in the darkness to push back against this. But Cragorna is also a land where good and evil as such aren't always clear, and much like real life, most people are somewhere in the middle. Even people that you might think, according to D&D tropes, are evil may not be as evil as the thing that you want to fight. And therefore, you will need to make choices as to who to ally with as you are engaging in your adventures. Um, we talked about the characters' names and classes. Um, Adam, first of all, Quint, let me refer to everybody by their character names. Quint, why don't you tell us a little bit about what you do on a day to day, what you're about? You're muted, I think. You're muted.
Right. Yes. Sorry. Hi. Quint, I guess the simplest way to put it is if you've ever played Skyrim, Quint is Bellathor. He's a shopkeeper, and that's what he does in this world, at least for the time being. He sharpens adventurers' swords. He tightens their armor. He basically sets people up for doing whatever it is that they do. And he's a bit of a handyman. He goes around town fixing things, mending things, and sometimes he travels about. But that's mostly what he does. He belongs to a organization that is all about artisans and whatnot. Basically, like a local guild. Not anything sinister for what he does, but
he doesn't know of anything sinister. We'll just leave it there. Fair. Um, Delilah, you were in this city of Creed Hall. Creed Hall is renowned for its university, Creed Hall University, which is right, and it's right on the shore of Loch Riven on the moors. What brings Delilah, the grave cleric, to this city of learning?
The home that I had no longer exists, so that means I had to go somewhere else. I think I go where I feel like I'm needed the most. So, as a large and kind of developed city, maybe perhaps they need my services for burying and administering and ceremony. So that's probably why I wound up here.
Ah, very good, very good. Ambrosia, we won't go into all the things just yet about how, because one of the things I want to note about Curve Border, this is not a typical D&D world with dwarves and elves and orcs and all of those things, which is not to say that monsters don't exist, just that people tend to be humans, although and you alluded to this earlier in your description. The Fae exist, though not necessarily in the form of elves and half elves. What brings you to Creed Hall yourself?
Right, well, what brings anybody to Creed Hall? A chance for some money. People want their fortunes read, and I have the means to do it. I go from tavern to tavern, read a bit of fortune, try to earn a bit of money. That is my way, after all. If people have coin and want to part with it, who am I to deny them of this lovely pleasure?
Indeed. That's right. As you read the cards, perhaps you'll have an opportunity to do that shortly here in the tavern in which we'll begin shortly. And then finally, Annabelle. What does Annabelle look like? What is she doing here in Creed Hall? Like actively, what is she up to while she's here?
So Annabelle, she is a mighty tall human. She's got she does have some war paint on her face, just a little bit. She looks a bit haggard and tired, and she has pretty wild hair as well. And she's over here in Creed Hall. She heard a while ago that there was someone who could read your fortune, so she hung out a bit in here. That's how she ended up here first. And then she realized that there was a young shopkeeper who was quite good at fixing some tools and weapons. So she wandered over to Quint to have her heirloom axe sort of adjusted, sharpened, and fixed.
So, what does her heirloom axe look like?
It's a big great axe, and it's sort of it's kind of dark, but it's well made, and it's got some red and black sort of cloth wrapped around the handle of it, and inscribed underneath that there are some runes. They're not magical; they're just reminders to her about a few things.
Non-magical runes. All right, all right. So you find yourselves in a tavern known as the Dirty Seagull, right on the Fisherman's Wharf area. Um, the tavern owners are a couple. There's a large woman, well over 6 feet tall, broad shouldered. She wears a tricorn hat and a long coat. Um, and then there's a petite blonde woman who handles the kitchen and kind of the business, as it were. Um, so Kisla, the first woman, she's tending bar and giving any. In addition to tending bar, she is also the bouncer, as happens when sometimes you have a drunken fisherman who needs to go home before he causes any more trouble. Uh, and Ambrosia, you're in there doing your business. What does it look like as you're doing that?
So Ambrosia currently has, in this form, is known as Jonathan Van Nook. Definitely not from Tom Nook, because I'm on Animal Crossing on the brain. And what they kind of do in this form is sort of say, "Here, come, get your fortune told. The saints are just waiting to tell you what's to come. Why not figure out whether that barrel is going to be a good one? Sit, my friends, have a drink. On me, of course." And starts to kind of do a spread and puts 3 cards out on the table.
As you're doing that, you see one of the people that's in this bar is dressed in a long, heavy cloak that completely encompasses them and a plague doctor's mask. Those, that look kind of like the face of a raven. Emma, are you okay? You're flailing about.
Just so excited right now.
So you hear him kind of wheezing as he comes over. Well, I sure could use my fortune told before I die. Can you tell me what are these illnesses that plague me? Mister, I'm sorry I didn't catch your name.
Jonathan Van Nook. Please, my friend, take a seat.
And you see him, he kind of like looks around. You can see just his eyes. He's got very dark skin and silverish blue eyes. But they're darting about frantically, and he kind of eases himself down into the chair, still kind of wheezing through that mask. And the mask itself, you would all know, is typically full of herbs and concoctions trying to clean the air as they breathe. It's not that they try to look like birds; they just need all this stuff for the airs they're breathing in. So I'll have a seat. I'm full up on the inside with disease and illness, and maybe you can tell me what's causing these things, Mr. Jonathan.
Of course, my friend. That's what I'm here for. It's what we're all here for. Now, let me have a look. Your past, Saint Hesper, beauty, fertility. You were once a fairly prosperous man, if I should do say so myself.
Yes, yes, the saints speak to you. I had a business. I cleared out rats from the basements, and I whatever other kind of pests were plaguing the good people of Creed Hall, and that's all fallen apart. Oh, I'm so cold.
It's all right, my friend. I'm here. We should get you a drink. Not now, but we should get you a drink probably tomorrow. So, Mahydral, interesting in reverse. Do you know what Mahydral in reverse means?
Not a clue. Is it something from that university?
Not quite, my friend. It's broken promises, disgrace, disquiet. Someone has been very naughty. Tell me what you did. Did you maybe steal something that didn't belong to you? Maybe stab someone in the back or two? You can tell me. We're all friends here.
Well, when we're in the houses, in the basements, cleaning things up, we do make friends with the people that live there, and well, I guess I got too close to one of the folks there, and I guess their family didn't like that. If you pick up my meaning.
I pick up your meaning exactly, my friend. Don't worry, I shan't tell a soul, and you probably won't be telling anybody else for a while either.
I have no intention of telling anyone, and he's keeping his mouth shut too.
My friend, my good friend, it doesn't look too promising. Eulasia, a lack of success, depression, isolation. What are you doing, my friend? You're so lost and wandering this road alone with your delightful get-up and the herbs and all that stuff.
I tell you, I'm just eaten up with cold and I don't feel so good. And I'm just trying to keep all of that out, and ever since everything went to hell. Well, I do kind of keep to myself and try looking for work, and it's just not a lot there these days.
I know some of us get by the only way we know how. But don't worry, Eulasia isn't always bad, despite the isolation. The fates only tell one path. You can change your path, my friend. All you have to do is believe in yourself and also pay.
I understand. How much for your reading?
That'll be about, let's say, 7 gold.
7 gold. And he starts counting out. He takes out this sack full of change and dumps on the table and starts counting out Well, let's see. That's 20 silver, and there's 2 more gold. Let's see, how many coppers do I have? And he starts kind of, and his whole bag comes out to about 5.5 gold.
You know what? Charity is so rarely found on these dark times, my good soul. You and I share a bond, I think. I will accept your 5.5 gold, and I wish you well on your journey.
Thank you. This has been very, very enlightening, and I'm sure that, well, may the saints bless you, and may you find your way to the holy mountain. And he gets up and kind of stumbles away.
And I'm gonna just open my jacket pocket, and a little sprite pops out, and I say, "B, did you notice if he had any rings on him or anything?"
No, he did. Well, he's wearing heavy gloves, so you wouldn't have been able to see. He's the only part of his skin that you saw was around the eyes.
We're getting a lot more weirdos in here. We should probably move on to some point. No more good coin.
Speaking of weirdos, which of the other three of you might have observed this little exchange here, sitting in the dirty seagull?
I might have. I feel like I would have.
All right. So what does Delilah do after witnessing this little conversation?
Delilah will hobble over with some tea that she has, 2 cups of it, and sit with Jack, sit at the same table.
Delilah, my love, when will you leave this life of yours and run away with me finally? There's a ship in the harbor with your name on it.
Yeah, I'm still considering your many proposals, Jack.
One of these days you're going to accept, and my life will be complete. I will leave this life of crime for you.
Did you find out what ailed that man?
Yes, it's a serious case of death. It's probably going to strike at any moment.
Oh, well, I guess everyone's time comes eventually, but did you have an interest in actually curing him?
My powers lie in telling people what they wish to hear, less in the sort of healing aspect. If I wanted to earn the minimum amount of coin, I could have become a healer. This way, I earn lots of coin, and it keeps B and me pretty well fed. By the way, and they'll pass a coin or 2 over to Delilah for the teas.
Oh, that's very generous, but I can't accept that. I slide it back over.
I know. That's why I'll slip it in your pocket later while you aren't looking.
You actually could make a great deal of money healing people.
Yes, but I lack the sort of bedside manner needed. When people cough on me, I go, ew.
People are never more desperate than when death is staring them in the face.
I knew there was a reason why I loved you, Delilah.
It's just the matter of the choice you make as a healer, whether you're in it for the profit or you're in it for the process.
It's a very rainy evening.
Of course it is.
Of course it is. I mean, there's not a lot of sunshine in Krevborna. It's an unusual, it's like Sweden. Summer is the most beautiful day of the year. So this is it's one of those days where it's not thundering; it's just pouring rain, and so there are a number of fisher folk here in the Dirty Seagull because it's so convenient to the wharf where they tend to launch out into the lock where they do their fishing. Quint, what are you up to this evening? Are you stumbling in for a beer, or are you doing something else?
I think Quint is here actually to deliver the project he was commissioned to restore. I think he's finally finished it, and he agreed to meet Annabelle at the inn. So obviously he's not going to be walking around in his armor, like his full armor, like in the rain and everything. So he opens the door, wearing a giant like mantled great coat, the hat and everything. He's holding a well wrapped length of something in a like oiled skin, make sure it's all nice and secure. Pushes through the door and he's like, "Well, this is a nice weather we're having. I absolutely love a refreshing walk in the rain." And it doesn't.
As soon as you do that, the big lady in the tricorn hat and the cloak behind the bar says, "Oi! Close the door behind you! Don't get any of that in here."
Oh, quite right. And I close the door and I look around, scanning, kind of oblivious to like the fact that I wasn't talking to anybody, but just everybody in general and stuff. I try to see if I can find Annabelle, if she's here.
I would venture to guess, if it's in the evening, that yes, you could find Annabelle at any of the taverns in the evening. So I probably also would have seen Ambrosia. You're Jack right now, is that correct? So I would have seen Jack in that encounter, and when I saw Delilah also go over there, I probably would have grabbed, knowing that Quint was coming, 2 ales and slid into the chairs next to the other 2 at the table. And upon seeing Quint enter, I would have waved my hand and waved him over to us.
Ah, hi, hello there. And I walk over, careful not to like jostle anybody or anything. And I look over at Jack and Delilah, and I say, well, "Good day." And I pull up a chair, sit down, turn to Annabelle, and I say, "It's finished. Would you like to see it?"
I would, yes.
I pull some of the ties off of it, unroll it, and the axe was beautiful to begin with, but right now it positively shines. It like the wood. I salvaged it. I salvaged as much of the wood as I could. It was a little bit frayed, so I had to sand it down a little bit, and put on some fresh wrappings and everything. But I think you'll be quite impressed with the blade. And I hold it up, and it looks. I mean, Quint's not a magic person, but the blade looks sharp, like you'd expect to find on a magic weapon, kind of a thing. And I take a piece of paper that I usually have somewhere, and I like gently drag it across, and it just parts. I'm like,
Well, now that's a mighty fine job you did fixing this. Thank you so much, Quint. It looks beautiful.
"It's my pleasure to work on such an amazing weapon. You're quite welcome."
And have I already paid you for this? Did I put down a deposit?
I think you would have put down a deposit to begin with, and I think maybe, yeah, I think now would be like the second payment kind of a thing. Yeah.
All right. Well, here's the other half of this, and I will put down a little bag of gold coins onto the table.
Thank you very much. And again, if you have any other work like this in the future, please come to Quint's Essentials. I will be more than happy to help. And I put it in my bag, and then I pick up the ale, which I've now only just noticed because I'm kind of oblivious. I'm like, "Oh, thank you."
No, thank you.
So, Jonathan and Annabelle know each other. As you are seeing that Kisla is kind of moving over and walks over to the 4 of you, maybe sitting kind of near each other, and asks, "So, you all here to order another ale, or are you going to be just here taking up space?"
It's called decoration, my friend. We can't bring people in with our sheer beauty, and we do you a favor for it. But also, yes, more ale.
Very good, very good. As she saunters off behind the bar, you hear some commotion outside, like from the docks. And just as you're kind of looking at each other, wondering, one of the fisher women, gets up and pulls her cloak around her to go outside and see what's happening. And as soon as she's opened the door, she is bowled over by rushing through the door what look like rotted, drowned people with uh, algae and seaweed hanging off of them. Some of them have mollusks kind of crawling out of their eyes, and these are clearly corpses, drowned corpses that are pushing through the door. And I would like you all to roll initiative.
Oh boy, howdy.
Yes, let's do it.
Well, I guess my AC is down to 11.
What?
Oh no! Oh no!
Your AC is down to 11.
Yeah, because like I don't think Quint would have been wearing his plate armor.
Oh no, I wouldn't imagine he goes around town in his full getup. No.
Yeah, so he's wearing just like his padded stuff. This will be fun.
Okay. Initiative. Let's see. Let's see. And the other one. Oh. You're going to be fine. You're all going to be fine. You're definitely going to be fine.
I don't like the sound of that at all.
Either.
Emma, regarding attacking with your axe, there are a couple of things I'll need to go over with you after you deal some damage with it at the end of your turn. Just
Okie dokie.
Oh wow! Look at this. All right. So, let's see. First of all, Annabelle, what's your initiative?
18.
18. Anybody have higher than an 18?
19.
19. So we're gonna have 19 Delilah, and then 18 Annabelle. Quint, what about you?
5.
Good. And then finally Ambrosia. I'm just gonna be easier for me.
Once this fight kind of starts, and they're gonna just shake off. There's a cat behind me now.
It's kind of perfect.
It is. It just goes gonna shake off the thing and shake the hair, and the black hair goes to white, and you see Ambrosia kind of natural form of kind of like this pale ass, white haired, sort of high cheekboned looking dude. That's a
What's your initiative?
Well, I didn't know whether I had to roll initiative for B, my little familiar, as well.
You're familiar. The one that's apparently hiding behind you can go on your initiative. It'll just easier for me that way.
Brilliant. I got a 7, so Quint and I are really bringing up the rear.
Yep.
Okay, so we're gonna have Delilah, then Annabelle, then some zombies.
Oops.
Then Ambrosia, Quint. Okay. So Delilah, you see maybe a half dozen of these stumbling in. What do you do?
I will stand up from my bench, creak my old bones creaking, and I will hobble forward, and I will use Channel Divinity, Turn Undead.
What a surprise.
Yeah. So, Wisdom saving throw, DC 13.
Okay, and it's the ones that can see you, or what's the...
See or hear you.
Okay, all right. So that's going to be all of them then.
Yep.
That's fine. So fine. This is fine. It's not going to be a problem. DC 13 Wisdom save.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. 3 of them pass. 4 of them pass, and 2 of them you hear kind of wheezing. And as they're wheezing, you can see some spray coming out of their throats because their throats are rotted. And and rush back out into the street. But there are 4 of them still there with their putrid arms. You do anything else on your turn?
No, that's my whole turn.
All right, Annabelle.
So I'm gonna take my freshly fixed axe, and I am going to run up to them, and I would like to attack recklessly. I'm just gonna start swinging at them. I got a natural 20.
Ooh.
Oh yeah. So roll your damage.
Okay,
And-
how do you do crits on? How do you do that?
You roll double the amount of damage dice, and you add your modifier. And I don't know if there's a special thing with your special sharpened axe that we're for those watching, we're play testing Punbard's new class, the Toolist.
You add a D4 to your damage.
Okay, so roll 2 d4s in this case because you crit.
So it's 25 slashing damage.
Oh.
Okay, so describe how you destroy this first zombie.
So I'm going to pretty swiftly get out of my chair and just come up them, and I would like to just hack them from like diagonally across their body.
And could you roll also a D20? Just a straight D20 roll?
I got an 8.
Okay, we mark off 1 Toolist save. So once you get -3 saves, it's like a death save for your weapon. If you roll 10 or lower, you make off a save. After 3 failed saves, you no longer have the sharp.
Okay.
Now it's going to have to make a con save, that zombie. Oh, it doesn't matter. I forgot. You did 25 damage, and it was a critical hit. No, you destroyed it. But as you did, there was this explosion of the putrid, rotten water and decay from that zombie that splashed all over you, Annabelle. Can you make a con save for me, please?
Sure. 23.
Oh yeah, you're fine. You're fine. You feel this stuff is pretty nasty and could have a pretty terrible effect, but you shake it off. You're okay.
Okay.
But you are up there as there are a number of there are at least 3 other zombies who haven't run away and haven't yet been cleaved in twain as the first one. And they are going to attempt to hit you, I'm afraid to say, because they are reaching out and trying to grasp you and punch you and wipe their nasty faces on you. What's your AC?
13.
13. Okay, 2 of them hit. One of them you dodge out of the way, but 2 of them hit for a total of. So one does 3 damage and the other one does 4. Oh, they're at advantage to hit you, are they not?
Correct.
No, the other one still misses.
Okay.
But
So-
one of them crits. So.
Oh, cool. Okay. Cool.
Okay, so one of them does 5 damage, the other one does 7 damage. I guess that's probably halved from your rage.
I'm not raging. So it's 12, right?
But
Yeah.
why?
Well,
okay.
I don't want to rage in a tavern. For a
All
reason.
right. All right. So you're just laying about with your axe is all. That's fine. Now, Ambrosia, you see all of this carnage up front. What do you do?
As a warlock with very squishy HP, I'm going to cast Armor of Axis on myself. and just get those sweet 5 hit points.
What does it look like?
So Ambrosia kind of grabs one of their cards as their arcane focus, and just does, for some reason, the only thing is like that has come to mind, which is like my student theater days. Ba-da-da-da. So they go, and their entire body is covered in this frost, and they get 10 HP. Thank you, Emma.
I get 10 what?
They get 10 HP because 10 temporary HP because all the things I cast are at 2nd level.
Great. That's great. That's great. I'm sorry. I was being a jerk. I just thought it was cute when you said HP.
HP.
It's the British thing. That's all. We were talking before the game about herbs versus herbs. Herb is a guy who bowls a lot and drinks Miller Lite to me. So as you do that, you hear some of the fisher folk behind you kind of gasp and shriek, pointing at you specifically. Would you do that?
I'm going to turn around and wink and just go, don't be jealous, darlings. I know it's a lot to take in.
It is a lot. Quint?
Oh,
Yes. Okay. Yes. Well, because I came in at 5, I'm actually kind of oblivious. When I hear all this stuff happening, I'm right in the middle of drinking, and I just the most spectacular spit take, and I start hacking coffee like. I stumble out of the chair, whip back my cloak or my coat, pull out my longsword, and just charge. Do you mind if my longsword for this moment is sharpened?
I think it would make sense.
Yeah. Okay. And my AC is 12 because padded armor +1. So, anyways.
Okay. Oh yeah, I forgot. Just so everybody watching knows, just so you know, because the way this setting is, literally everyone is able to wear padded armor, which your class may have given it to you anyway. Yeah. But everybody wears kind of those thick gambesons if they so wish. So yeah. Please continue.
I go charging outside. Which one looks the most damaged? And is there anybody who's squishy?
The one that was cut in half and is now splayed on the floor is the most damaged. The others, Annabelle has not yet applied her special brand of love to.
I go rushing up, almost shoulder to shoulder with Annabelle, and I try to hack at the closest one that's within reach.
Yeah.
All right.
They're pretty easy. They move pretty slowly.
12 plus 4. So
oh yeah, hits for sure, easily.
And I'm using it two-handed, so it's a D10. A D10 plus D10. Where's my D4? There it is. Okay. 2 plus 2 is 4 plus the D4 plus 3. 7 damage.
All right, yeah. Can you, as you hit this one again, there's this rotting spray that comes over you as you cut into its flesh, and all this nasty rotted lake water and everything else sprays it on you. Can you make a Constitution save?
Oh boy, this is not going to go well. I have a -1 in Constitution. Oh, 15. Nice.
Oh yeah, you're
so 16 -1.
Yeah, you're fine. You kind of hold your breath, shake it off. You're okay. You said you did 7 damage to that one? Okay. All right. Anything else on your turn before the next turn?
Nope, that's it.
Okay. Before we go to Delilah's turn, coming in through the door is another zombie, but this one looks somewhat different than the others. It has, instead of just kind of being in rotted away clothes and tattered cloth, it's actually wearing some semblance of leather armor, and it carries a sword that is rusted and it has algae coming off of it, and in general looks pretty rank. And unlike the others, it's able to move with a little bit of purpose. Although you notice again that still its left eye is actually like a little squid or whatever, kind of coming like that's crawled out of it. Um, Actually, no, I'm sorry. It's a lamprey mouth, one of those round mouths with teeth all around the circle, and it sets its one eye that does work on you, Quint, and kind of flails about with its rusted longsword.
No, 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 no.
For a 16 and a 19 to hit.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So.
Oh, boy.
Oops. One of those just, I don't know where that went. Do this. So you're going to take 6 and 8 slashing damage, and I need you to make another Constitution save.
Okay. 15 minus 1.
14. You pass. So the algae and nastiness that's in the sword doesn't pass into your blood, so you're okay this time.
Oh, but I look rough actually. Oh boy.
So with that in mind, we are back around the top to Delilah.
Okay, well, I'm like, abominations. I will I will use my bonus action to heal Annabelle. The healing word, you heal 4, honey. And then I will use my action using my healer's feat to heal the idiot who is getting murdered. Quit.
1 HP.
My God, stay out of melee. You heal 5 plus 7, 12. You heal 12 with my healer's feat.
Wow, that's something.
Yeah, it's 1d6 plus 4, then plus 1 for each character level you have. It's really good. But I can only heal each person once per rest, like only one application per person per rest.
Makes sense. So
that's my bonus action with the healing word, and then I slap a bunch of I take my tea and I'm like, I throw it in his face. I'm like, quit getting injured. That's my turn.
You're kind of still staying behind them, I'm guessing,
yeah, I'd be
right?
10 feet from the enemy's front line.
Fair enough. Making sure you weren't trying to like replace him.
No.
Stay out of melee, which is fair advice. But not staying out of melee is Annabelle. Annabelle, what is it that you're going to do now?
So upon seeing my friend Quint get hit so hard, I now would like to rage. And upon seeing this new individual who has joined the group. So when Annabelle rages, you see her sort of double over for a second, and suddenly you start hearing wolves in the distance, and you see a grouping of sort of some of her ancestors pop up around. As she sort of lifts herself back up, you see that she has grown hair all over her body, and her face has elongated into the snout of a wolf, and she now is in her werewolf form.
The screams go up within the tavern.
This is why I didn't want to do this, everybody. So, but nonetheless, I am concerned for my friend, and so I am going to growl at this new individual who has come through the door, and I'm just going to go at him with my axe.
All right.
That's a 19.
Definitely hits.
And then I roll a d4 with this. Is that right?
Okay. Yep. And then a d20 at the end of your turn.
That's 19 slashing damage on this individual.
Oh, yeah.
And I got an 18 on my d20.
Cool.
All right. Anything else on your turn, Annabelle?
Other than probably more growling? No.
All right. The remaining zombies, not the one that came in, they have their turn now, and they have smelled blood, not literally. They have found weakness, and they descend upon Quint there in the front line.
One of them will have disadvantage on that attack because of my ancestral protection.
Okay, all right. That's good. That's real good because the thing is, they would have advantage against you, right? But that would okay. That's good. So they're gonna have the first one's gonna have disadvantage. So that's gonna be a miss. So the disadvantage was the reason for the miss. I will just tell you straight up because one of the rolls was good and one of them was bad. They all miss actually. They are flailing about with their rotting arms, and Quint is taking some of Delilah's advice and dodging out of the way, which isn't hard because they're not like punching quickly. They're like, and they look strong but slow. Ambrosia, who has now been covered in rime, what is it that you do there towards the back of the room?
When Ambrosia hears like the screaming at Annabelle's transformation, he goes, "Everybody's such a bloody drama queen in here. Calm yourselves." And they're going to take the tarot card, which has got like an eye on it, and kind of hovers just a little bit in front of their hand, and they're going to shoot Eldritch Blast from it because I'm a warlock, and that's what we can do.
Say the words. Eldritch Blast.
Eldritch Blast.
Right.
No.
Hashtag Eldritch Blessed.
That is a dirty 20 to hit.
Yep, that hits. I'm assuming you're shooting. Well, it hits anyway. But which one are you shooting at? One of the regular zombies or the one that came in after?
I'm going to shoot at one of the regular zombies because I'm very squishy.
I think that's a good choice.
So that is when you targets makes 1d10. That is a 9.
9 damage. Okay. What is the energy that comes out look like?
It looks like this kind of blast of this like dark purple. There's like a stream of dark purple energy, and then around the stream are these like black kind of swirling mists that just crash into this thing. And then from my shoulder, because I forgot I have a familiar that has a short bow, you see this tiny kind of sprite pop out of Ambrosia's kind of pocket of his like jacket, and they hop on their shoulder and just shoot this tiny bow. 17.
17 definitely hits.
Yes, thank you for that. +6.
6 damage. All right.
Oh no, it's a +6 to hit. They get 1 piercing damage, and the target must succeed in a DC 10 Constitution saving throw or become poisoned for 1 minute.
These zombies cannot be poisoned.
Damn you, zombie scum!
But it takes its 1 damage. For a minute, I thought you did 6 damage to it, which would have been better. But anyways, anything else on your turn, Ambrosia, before we move to Quint?
Ambrosia just puts their fist there and gives it to be a tiny little fist bump.
Okay. Quint, you're up front. There's this drowned blade along with the drowned zombies there. What is it that you do?
How damaged does the drowned blade look in front of me?
Fighting shape.
Like, I should probably get out of here kind of a thing?
That's up to you.
Okay. Well, Quint isn't necessarily the kind of person to back down. And so I look back at Delilah, I say, "I'm sorry." And I look over at Annabelle, and I'm like, "A werewolf? Well, today's just full of surprises." And I take another two-handed slash at the drowned blade.
Okay.
And I say, "It would be so much easier with my armor." 7 plus 4, 11.
That actually does hit.
Nice.
It's still a zombie.
Yeah.
It's got some armor on, but it's still a zombie. It doesn't move that quickly.
All right. Give me a big detail. Oh, it's a 1 plus 2 is a 3 plus a 4. 7 damage. And I succeed on my handiwork check.
Okay. So at this point now, starting to look a little worn down, this drowned blade. Anything else on your turn before the drowned blade goes?
I don't think I should move because it's going to get an attack of opportunity. I'm going to stay here and see what I can do.
All right. The drowned blade will swing its rusted longsword at you 2 more times. For a what's your AC?
12.
It's gonna hit once and again just barely.
Okay.
So that's gonna be a total of 14 slashing damage. Is that right?
And I'm out.
Can you also make a con save?
Yes. 12 minus 1.
Yeah, you also have you all start to see grotesque blue boils starting to form on his face.
And I just crumple. Yeah.
Delilah, what do you do?
Bonus action, a healing word at 2nd level, which will heal him for the maximum because I'm a grave cleric. So you're going to heal 8 plus 3 is 11. You go up to 11. Quint. That is my bonus action. With my action, I'm going to look at the drowned blade, and I'm going to say to it, "Hear the call of the grave," and I'm going to cast Toll the Dead.
Oh, so it needs to make a save. Wisdom save?
DC 13, yeah.
Oh, it's going to fail.
Ooh, 11 points of necrotic damage.
All right. And what is it? What is does everyone else hear your bell here?
I just kind of rattle, or I don't think it has any. I just kind of tap on my staff rapidly, and their creature is the one that hears the bells.
Okay, I didn't know if everybody else also heard it. Yeah, and you see it kind of, and it's still standing, but it is extremely wobbly at this moment. Extremely wobbly.
Mm-hmm.
Anything else on your turn?
No,
okay, Annabelle. Annabelle, there are 3 zombies, one of which has been cut up pretty badly, plus the drowned blade that's very wobbly. What do you do?
I'm probably gonna go for the drowned blade again. I'm just gonna keep hacking at this.
Okay.
That is like a 24.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Okay. That's 13 for 15 slashing damage on it.
How do you want to do this, as they say?
I would like to I think I'm probably just gonna look at it in whatever I think its eyes are and probably growl at it and take my blade and attempt to decapitate him.
Oh yeah, no, you do easily. And as the head rolls off, you can see that its body was, like, as you can see into its innards, was just completely rotted through. It's amazing this thing even was able to ambulate at all, clearly held together by some form of dark magic. Yeah, roll your d20 for your sharpened.
11.
All right. Anything else on your turn, Annabelle?
No, that's it.
Okay. So what is the effect of your barbarians on those, not your guardians. That's what I'm trying to say. On
So-
these that are around.
Just for now, at this point, the effect is that on that first after I summon them, the first attack that they make, they're at a disadvantage. But otherwise, beyond that, it's I think that's it for now. Until the start of your next turn, the target has disadvantage on any attack roll that isn't against you. So,
But that's every enemy in your range, right? Or just one of them?
the one that I hit when
Okay. All right. Okay. So in this case, the drowned blade would have disadvantage, but it doesn't because it's dead. All right. Those 3 remaining zombies, however, are going to continue to pound on Quint. I mean, he's the one. Yeah, he tastes good.
Am I prone?
Yes. Thank you for reminding me. I had forgotten that. All 3 of them hit.
Oh, jeez.
It wasn't going to be, but then you reminded me.
I had to.
Yes, that was fine. This is fine. The fight's almost over, hopefully. $12 damage.
I'm out again. By -1.
I need both Annabelle and Quint to make. Not Quint. Quint has already got those problems. Annabelle, that spray splashes up on you because you're there in that same range. Can you make a con save against this rotting spray?
21.
Oh yeah, you're like, what spray? And now Ambrosia, it's your turn. There's one zombie that you and your little sprite have done some damage to, and then the other 2. What do you do?
How position wise, how close is everybody to me?
Yeah, but you're in the same room. By the way, does anybody else see it black on Twitch,
No.
or is it just
Nope.
me?
No, we're all good.
Okay, good. Then just my keeping an eye on the stream. Yeah, no, you're maybe 20, 30 away.
Because I have arms of Hadar, but I also don't want to like total Quint or Annabelle. With this, it's like a strength save, so Annabelle might be fine, but Quint is already down.
Yeah, R.I.P.
Brent would have a bad time with that.
So instead, I'm going to I'm gonna mind spike the one that I'm already going for.
Hey, what does that gonna have to do?
So you need a Wisdom 13 save.
You may be aware that zombies are not particularly wise, and in this case, definitely is not wise. It fails.
Then in that case, they take 3d8 psychic damage. And I also always know the target's location till the spell ends, but only while the 2 of us on the same plane of existence. And whilst they do, they can't go invisible on me. So fun times.
Okay.
It's 2, 3, 5, 3, 8 damage altogether.
Yes. You see one of the zombies look up, put his nasty hands on its face, and its head just explodes right there in front of you all. There are 2 zombies left.
Does any of it get on me?
No.
Thank God.
This is the first time. Yeah, first time it takes damage. If the zombies are going to go. Zombies are going to go now, and Quint is already down, so they're going to turn on Annabelle. These 2. One of them has an 18 to hit. Is that hit?
Yeah,
Wait.
that hit.
Wait, the zombies are up again?
No, two of them are still up.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I meant their turn.
I'm sorry. No. I'm
It's okay.
looking at the wrong thing. It's because that one's yes. You are correct. It is Quint's turn. Quint, can I get a death save from you?
Absolutely. 15. Oh, thank goodness.
Okay. Now it's Delilah's turn.
There we go. You big idiot. I'm gonna cast Healing Word at first level. You heal 7.
Okay.
And then I am going to use my action to grapple Quinn and pull them out and away, 15 feet away.
Okay. Yeah, you do that. They are too occupied with Annabelle to pay you much mind. So yeah, you do an emergency evac. In fact, for flavor, I'm going to say that you do it before you heal him so that he can't resist.
Exactly. Yeah.
Not that I think he would. I think he's like, see if I get the number of that carriage that hit me.
And now he is 15 feet away from the front line, and that's my turn.
Okay. Annabelle, you're up there alone with 2 zombies. What do you do to them?
I would like to. I'm gonna attack. Can I put my great axe away and take out both hand axes and hit at each of them? Because I have 2 weapon fighting. So as an action, can I hit one, and my bonus action, I hit the other?
Yeah, 2 weapon fighting, you can do that.
Okay.
No D4 for this.
Yeah, correct. Okay.
But she just wants to try to hit them both, is what I'm thinking that she's trying to do.
Yeah, it's just that at this point I'm mad that they're both here, and I want to be able to just start slashing at both of them.
Yeah, and they're still screaming, and everyone is screaming. They don't even know if they're screaming more at the zombies, more at the fairy-looking person with ice all over them, or the werewolf.
Okay. Ooh, boy. That's a natural 1 for one of them and a 19 on the other.
Second, yeah.
So the second one hits. So that's 14 slashing damage.
All right. That's a lot. It is still up. Can you make a con save?
Sure. 19.
Oh yeah. Yep, you're good. You're good. Anything else, Annabelle?
It's 18.
It's still fine. It's a really easy DC. Like,
okay.
You're gonna have to roll really poorly to be affected by it.
Okay. Nope. That's my turn.
Okay. In that case, they're gonna try to hit you. Do either of them have disadvantage?
No.
Okay. Then they both get an 18 to hit.
Oh, yikes. Okay.
And one does 6 damage and one does 3 damage.
And what kind of damage is
that? It is bludgeoning.
Okay, so that's halved.
Okay.
So you said one does 3 damage and one does 6?
One does, correct. So 3 and 1 after you have it. You take 4 damage at the end.
Okay, math.
It's fine. That's okay. That's why I'm here. All right. Now it is Ambrosia's turn. Ambrosia, there are 2 of them. One of them is pretty hurt. What do you do?
I'm going to take aim at the one that's hurt again and do another Eldritch Blast with my tarot flavor.
Eldritch Blast!
Eldritch Blast! Maths. 18.
Yeah, that hits.
1d10, 7. And also a tiny arrow is going to shoot at them.
All right. Do the tiny arrow.
Tiny arrow roll. Tiny arrow roll got 24.
Oh, yeah, which is good. It was a little bit wobbly, and that arrow is just enough for it to kind of fall back on its ass. But then, let's see. Yeah, you see it kind of struggle back up to its feet. So it is just standing there as it struggles back up to its feet. Anything else on your turn, Ambrosia?
That is my turn.
Okay. Quint, you are laying there now, been pulled back away from the fight. You don't feel so good in a few different ways. What do you do?
I cough a little bit. I'm like, oh, what? Jolly cooperation. I get to my feet. I look around. Is there a stool nearby? Like some sort of.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you're in the middle of a bar, so yes.
I pick one up and I just chuck it at the one that just walked up or got up.
Okay, so that's going to be an improvised weapon.
Yep.
All right, so make your attack roll. You don't get to add proficiency, just your dex.
Yeah. Okay. 11 plus 1.
Oh yeah, no, it hits it. So that's going to be. It does 1 damage.
Okay.
But it's going to make another saving throw.
Yeah.
You send it kind of spinning, and it starts to fall over and struggles back up. Because remember, its throat is half rotted away. Because these are literally drowned corpses that are here in the entryway to the tavern. Anything else, Quint?
No, I think I'm actually I'm gonna move around the table that I'm at, so I keep the table between me and whatever it is.
Right, that makes sense. Delilah. There's 2 zombies, one of which is barely up.
The one that's barely up, I am going to cast a Toll the Dead on. Wisdom saving throw DC 13.
It's gonna pass. It has a 16.
Damn it. Real quick here. Annabelle, you're doing fine, right? Yeah, you're fine. That's my turn.
Next week, by the way, for those of you listening to stuff, next week there will be optional audio available during the fights and stuff. But I didn't have it all the way set up for this initial one, mostly because we're not using a map. But you'll be able to turn it down, you players, so you can feel free to listen to what you want if you prefer to listen to other things that we can't throw up on Twitch. You understand. All right. Anything else? You good, Quint? All right. Delilah. No, Delilah did Toll. Toll, do you have anything else, Delilah?
No, that's my turn.
Okay. Annabelle, you've got your 2 hand axes. One zombie is looking almost like sushi. The other is untouched. What do you do?
So I am going to, at the one that's looking like it's on its last legs, I'm going to take my hand axe and go for it. And then as my bonus action, no, I'm going to recklessly attack the one that hasn't been touched. Can I do that?
Okay.
And then action hit the one that that is looking like it's on its last leg.
Right. So reckless attack on reckless. All of your attacks are at advantage.
All of them? You're automatically recklessly attacking all the time?
No. Reckless means all of your attacks that turn are at advantage.
Oh, all of the attacks are. Oh, awesome. Sick. That's what I wanted.
All the attacks against you are also at advantage. That's all.
Yeah, which is fine. It's Delilah's here. We'll be okay.
Apparently.
I got a dirty 20 and a 21 on the attacks.
Okay.
So, oh, really? Come on. It's 8 on both. On both attacks I rolled
8 damage?
8 damage.
Okay. The one that's on its last legs. It just keeps going. It's just somehow it shouldn't still be standing. It's at this point, it's got like only one arm and it's missing half of its torso, and somehow its undead fortitude keeps pushing it through. Anything else, Annabelle?
No, that's it.
That's all? Okay, well, with its one arm, it's going to try to hit you at advantage because you're reckless and so you're
That's right.
a little bit off your guard. And that's going to be a 22 to hit.
Yep.
And the other one, oh, it's going to hit. It's going to be an 18 to hit. So, fortunately, neither of them are crits. So that's going to be 12 bludgeoning damage, 6 and 6, actually.
Okay.
So 3 and 3 for you. So 6 total for you.
Okie doke.
All right. And they are just wailing. And now you hear from behind, Ambrosia, right behind you, the Kisla, the very large bartender woman, steps out with a blunderbuss. It is your turn first, however, Ambrosia.
How long have you had that while we've been doing this?
Let's be clear, your fight's only been going on about 20 or 30 seconds.
Okay, well that makes more sense now, but still, delightfully. Still, my friend. I'm gonna Eldritch Blast again because that is the attack that I have. Yes! Okay, that was a 19. And then plus 5, so 24.
Okay, so honestly, the damage doesn't even matter at this point.
So that was a 4.
A 4 to hit?
So, yeah, oh no, it was a 24 to hit, and then a 4 from my 1d10.
Okay, and your sprite's attack?
Spread's attack. Oh, my sprite only rolled a 9.
Yeah, the 9 is actually going to hit.
Oh my god. Yay!
And that is somehow this unerring little toothpick arrow is just enough to lodge right in the forehead, and that zombie just crumples. There's one zombie left. Quint, what are you doing?
Is there anything on the table that I can throw at it, like a bottle or a mug? Okay.
Oh yeah, there are mugs and bottles. There are plates. Also, there are bowls of stew. Yeah, go for it. What do you want? Right. You're just gonna throw some.
Yeah, I'm just gonna throw another thing at it. And as I do so, I say, I need to get to my shop.
Why don't you give me an improvised melee range attack?
That'd be 18.
Oh yeah, no, that's gonna hit for its 1 damage.
Yep.
That is right. Isn't it? Improvised weapons do 1 damage unless you have something for it, unless you have Tavern Brawler.
I think. have no idea.
I believe so. It's fine. Yeah. Yeah, so at that point, yeah, Kisla steps up with the blunderbuss and just lets fly. And the door is shot off its hinges. It's it's not a very accurate weapon, right? The door goes blasting off its hinges, but otherwise it misses both the werewolf and the zombie. Delilah, what do you do?
Was she actually aiming at the werewolf?
It's a shotgun, so it's hard to say how she was aiming. She's now kind of stuffing stuff back into it.
I am going. You know what? I'm the healer. You all can kill the damn thing. I'm using my healer feat to heal Annabelle. Yeah. You heal 9.
Thank you.
It's my action. That's my turn.
All right.
No. Fuck it. Bonus act. No. That's my turn.
You sure? Okay. All right. Annabelle, it's your turn. There is 1 zombie left. It's pretty rough. What do you do?
I'm gonna take my hand axes and do a little flip and put them back in their little holsters and take my great axe out and go for this last one. Although as I'm swinging down on it, I am going to look over at the bartender and sort of give her a look like,
She glares back at you.
that is a natural 20.
Woo-hoo-hoo! Why don't you give us a damage roll, rolling your dice an extra, doubling the number of dice that you roll.
It's only 6. I didn't roll great. 16 slashing damage.
That's actually enough. Actually, so describe how your hand axe just eviscerates this zombie.
It's my great axe. I pulled my great axe out for this one.
Oh,
so I'm
okay.
gonna go right for the abdomen and attempt to. I'm gonna aim it so that if it sprays, it's gonna get on the wall. I don't want it to get on anybody else in here.
No, this one didn't spray this time.
Okay, it didn't spray this time. There's a phrase. So yeah, I'm gonna just go for the abdomen and attempt to cleave this individual in half. And Quint, I got a 10 on my D20.
Yeah. So this thing is just bisected, and the top half kind of slides off before it falls over. End of your turn?
Yeah.
Okay. The zombies no longer get turns because the two that were turned have run off into the night. But the ones that Delilah, I mean, let's be clear. Delilah's initial turn undead was clutch. Kisla is still stuffing her blunderbuss, trying to reload it, and she's giving the werewolf a look, like she's not sure whether to thank you or kill you. What do you all? The combat's over at this point. What do you do?
I will shout out, the threat is over. The undead menace has been dispersed with. Let's make sure there are no more.
Yes, make sure there are no more. Go out in the streets and take care of them. Don't want to see your like back in here. You too, Ambrosia. Jonathan. No, she doesn't know Ambrosia. Whoever you are, take your deviltry out of here before we call the Inquisition.
Deviltry, you usually have to buy me a drink before you can call me that. I'll see you later. And I'm just gonna waltz out.
I start hacking and coughing. I don't feel too well. And I'm like, my shop? We need to go to my shop.
Does he still have the boils?
Yes. Oh, yes, absolutely. The boil. They're just starting to faintly. You can see them a little bit, but it's pretty faint. Let's take a quick break.
Okay.
About 5 minutes, maybe less. And we'll be back. We're going to be done in less than an hour because it's Father's Day and folks have some things to do. But we'll be back in just a minute. everyone. Welcome back to Gothic Brunch, where we have just survived our initial encounter with drowned zombies coming out of Loch Riven here in the city of Creed Hall. As just a quick reminder, getting back into this, if anybody, any monies that come into variant roles this month, including during this game and all the other games on variant roles during Pride, are going as donations to Trans Lifeline. So please feel free to subscribe or donate or cheer bits or whatever, and it's all going to help out a charity that supports trans folks who need support. And they've expressed explicitly their gratitude and appreciation for what we're doing with them this month. So just keep that in mind. So resetting now. Annabelle has displayed to the world that she is in fact a werewolf. Ambrosia, aka Jonathan, has had for some time encased himself in a thin covering of frost and ice, in addition to entirely changing his appearance, and Quint barely survived. So
We're doing well.
You're on in this dockside tavern there on the wharf of this isn't actually the sea, right? This is just a large inland lake. And I'm pulling up here. Yeah, so as you look at Quint, he's got just starting to grow on his face these bluish boils. You can they haven't really started to grow, but they're just starting. And I guess Quint, you had indicated you wanted to go to your shop, but what do you all do? The fisher folk there are starting to kind of gather. They're setting back tables and putting up chairs, and somebody is getting buckets and stuff to try to clean up the zombie mess that's all over the floor of the entrance. And also the door has been blown off its hinges by the bartender who is carrying a shotgun. So what do you all do?
I look over the mess and I look over at the barkeep and I say, later I'll fix this. As I stumble.
Just get
right, and I start stumbling towards the door.
I will hobble after Quint, and I will say, let's get you back to your shop and let me get a good look at you once we're back there.
Annabelle is going to, while still in werewolf form, put her axe back on her back, walk over and finish the ale that she was drinking prior to the start of this fight, and then leave.
She just chugs it.
Yep.
You see the other tavern owner, the kind of petite blonde woman with her hair up in a messy bun, kind of come up. She's looking around, and she's a pretty quiet, soft-spoken woman, but you hear her kind of saying to you, I think it would be best if you left before we have any more trouble here.
I'm just gonna nod at her.
Are you still in your hybrid form, or have you reverted back to human form?
I think depending on timing on how quickly this all happens, I'm gonna just wait for that werewolf form to run out at the end of my rage. So I might revert back into what I normally look like just as I exit the door.
Okay. All right. You hear, kind of whispers and gasps and grumbles behind you. What about Ambrosia?
Ambrosia already waltzed out when they said to get out deviltry.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
But they do pop their head back in and just go boo, and then put their head back again.
Very good. So, Quint, what is your shop like? Tell us about it.
Well, you can see it from a long distance away. The entire street is kind of, gray, drab colors. It's also raining. But Quint's Essentials, it has a giant sign above the door, and it's all. I think it's probably all reds and blues, and the words on the sign are in this like just bright and vibrant green. It's there's nice shop front and everything, lots of glass you can see in it, and light is just pouring out of it. Like he keeps the lights running all the time, partly for security, but also because he likes bright shiny things. So yeah,
Very good.
it's not subtle.
Right. No, and it definitely stands out in this place because nothing else here looks like that. Everyone wanders by is like, it's like when you go into an old neighborhood and there's like all these old broken down houses or they kind of all look the same. And then there's one that's been fixed up and painted, has flowers and all this stuff on the yeah. You're definitely that one shop. So as you all stumble in, what does it look like inside?
Inside, it's basically like your general store. Although there's probably more tools and like knickknacks and hardware than normal. Like it's less. It's more like an Ace Hardware, but with like some other general goods in it.
It's the place.
Yep. And Quint, he's not feeling too good, so he just stumbles in and just like goes through, not pausing, not talking to anybody else. He's a little rattled by just what exactly happened, so he immediately goes into the back of the shop.
The rest of you went along. What do you do?
Yeah, I say to him, but before you put on that ridiculous suit of armor, let me get a look at your boils.
I pause and I look back and I'm like, I haven't. What? Wait, what? What do you know about my armor? Oh, sorry.
I cut out. Go ahead.
I say, I look back at you. I kind of stutter, like, what do you know about my armor? I haven't. What?
You kept talking about it at the end, didn't you?
Oh, right. Okay.
You never shut up about it.
It's a bit of a project of mine. I stop and I'm like, okay, but be quick about it. I have a bad feeling about this.
I would like to do a medicine check on him to diagnose his boils.
Yeah.
Ah! It was a good roll, but it was unintentional. Okay. Same thing. 18 total.
Okay. You have seen this before. This is blue rot. This is a disease that's normally carried. You would know in particular, especially given your background. It's a disease carried by the undead, and after a while, it starts to affect, in game terms, their constitution and charisma, but it also gives them the ability to breathe underwater. However, the larger effect is that from time to time, the boils can burst and spread and do additional necrotic damage as their body rots away.
Oh, no.
So if I take out my sickle. Can I lance one of his boils?
Yeah, and you lance it, and this
Ouch!
bluish green fluid starts oozing out. Sorry about your cracker there, Emma. And it's mostly on his face, but as you're doing it, you're doing a medicine check, so you were probably like checking him over. They're also bursting out on his back.
I'm giving him this like this big smile, but it's kind of worried, like it's okay.
Wait, can you roll me a D4 twice? Not 2D4, like I just need both rolls.
Me?
Yeah, you quit.
Okay.
Yes.
2D4?
Yeah, but I need each of the separate dice.
Okay, I got a 3 and a 1.
Okay, your constitution drops by 3 and your charisma drops by 1.
Okay.
Temporarily. It's a temporary effect. And your fingers and toes and ears are starting to tingle.
So based on I will tell him everything I've learned. But based on my diagnosis, do I know the typical? I mean, how fast is he going to degenerate? Do I have 24 hours here?
Oh yeah, it's over the course of days.
Okay.
So basically every morning, he's going to make a saving throw.
Okay.
And if he succeeds, he's going to get a little bit better. And if he fails, he's going to get a lot worse.
And how does lesser restoration work in this setting?
Lesser restoration, but that's one that cures you one disease or one condition. Is that right?
Oh, it's actually not disease. It's blind, deaf, and paralyzed or poison. Oh no, wait, one disease. Yeah, one disease.
Okay. Yeah, it's a disease. It's a disease. So you'll need to draw on some powers, but
I can cure him
so
tomorrow.
while the gods are not present, that doesn't mean that divine magic doesn't work. It's accessed through other means other than the gods themselves. It's through the saints or perhaps other powers that may be. We can Delilah can we can or Matthew can think about that for Delilah. Yeah. But yeah, it is in mechanical terms, it's a disease. Yep.
Understood. Okay. I will look at our dear friend Quint here and say, I can't take care of this right now, but with a little more time and prayer. And I'm just like moving his nose side to side. I like grab it. I'm like tilting his head down and examining his scalp, pushing it back, getting him under the chin. With a little more time and prayer, I think I can cure you in the morrow. So.
Oh, that's nice. Thank you. That makes me feel so much better.
Don't die till then.
I think this will help. And I turn around and I go into the door. I don't close it behind me, but you can hear like rustling and clanking and clattering around in there.
And what are the other two doing?
Yeah.
While this is happening, Annabelle and Ambrosia.
The first thing Ambrosia's gonna do is call out to Quinn and said, "Quinn, darling, I would have helped, but I didn't want to." And
I shout back, "It's okay.
This is very expensive, and you're shooting boils everywhere. It's a disaster." And then I was gonna sort of turn to Annabelle and go, "So, you dye your hair. Does that change your fur color, or are we just talking like it just changes one tuft? I've had several questions. I'm very curious."
All right, and you're curious about my hair?
Yes, it's quite fantastic.
Well, thank you. I grew it myself.
Stellar work. Stellar work. That explains a few things of difference. That was definitely not in your cards.
That's not surprising.
There's at this point, there's a boom, 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 boom. And the door had been sort of partially closed, and then it just like, bam! And out from the doorway, you see a figure, like a fully armored figure that looks about 1.5 feet taller than Quint when he walked in. Comes out. It looks like, are there iron golems in this? Like are war construction, like are constructs a thing that are known about?
They exist. They're not particularly common.
Okay. Well, this
although it being where you are in the university town, it's a place where if anyone has seen them, this is where they would have seen them. But they are definitely not like, it's not like in Eberron with Warforged where everybody kind of knows what they are. It's not like that at all.
All right. Well, regardless, this suit of armor looks gigantic. It's also like all motif with like, it looks like if Gothic cathedral wasn't armor. It's basically Gothic armor. And he has his longsword in one hand, and he has this gigantic shield basically bolted to the other. You hear from inside, "Okay, I'm ready."
I've dated weirder.
That's a mighty nice suit of armor. Did you make that yourself?
It's I pull up the visor and you see my head just sort of barely peeking out. Like, I did. It's a bit of a long story, but normally I don't take this out. But I think I'd feel safer inside. And I close the visor again.
I think that's wise after that display back there at the tavern.
You hear a sigh come out from the visor, like.
Thank you, Delilah, for your support and assistance back there. I appreciate that.
You're welcome. Would you like further assistance?
I don't feel great, but I have felt worse.
I wasn't so much referring to your fortitude as your affliction.
My affliction?
Yes, you're a werewolf, a lycanthrope?
That's right. I've never really considered it an affliction. I've had it since birth.
We're all born with our curses.
I think defining it as a curse might be dependent on the individual. I've never considered this a curse.
I believe the Church of Saintly Blood and the Inquisition would see it differently.
I'm sure that's right, but here we are.
It doesn't seem like much of a curse to me. I pipe up from the side. Curses, in my experience, usually leave a lot more bloodied innocence behind.
Are you under the impression that werewolves have not left bloody innocence behind?
No, but in some of my associations in town, I can say that criminals have done very similar things. And we don't call crime a curse. Well, I suppose some do.
Crime may not be a curse, but violence is certainly a disease.
You're not wrong.
So it is your body. I only offer my services.
I appreciate that.
I feel fine in case anyone is interested.
Yes, you seem to stay out of the fray of danger quite well there.
It's my specialty.
Was it Jack or John?
You may call me Ambrosia, my dear Delilah.
Oh, okay. But you're still... Are you still in... Was it Jack or was it John? I was confused.
It was Jonathan, but the
Okay.
Ambrosia has changed into their normal, what they would call
Base state.
their base state, which is this kind of white haired, but it looks kind of chromatic sort of person, and very androgynous David Bowie sort of vibes.
Okay, Ambrosia. That was
Is Ambrosia Starman?
Yeah, Ambrosia Starman. I'm waiting in the sky.
Love it.
that.
Here for it.
That was a horrifying ordeal in the tavern. I plan on investigating why the undead came out of the lake.
I'd like to find that out as well.
It was mighty horrifying. It's not a sight that I'd care to see again.
Feel almost bad for not finding it horrifying. I've seen worse.
Oh, that's good to know.
I mean, I've seen much, much worse, but even this small diabolical mishaps have to be dealt with.
After a few moments, Sorry, during this conversation, you hear a very light, faint on the front of the shop door.
Look over. Excuse me, I'll get that. And I sort of gingerly make my way.
Gingerly, clank, 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 clank.
Well,
I'm imagining the Terrans from StarCraft.
actually, like because of how it's constructed, it would normally be like that. But you notice he is actually fairly nimble in this because of the peculiar way it's constructed.
So you open the door, as you look straight ahead, you don't see anything. And then you look down, and there's a small page boy standing there in the livery of Creed Hall University. And he says, excuse me, is this Quintessentials? I think that I don't read very well. Am I in the right place?
I pull up the visor and I look way down, like practically trying to peek.
Yeah.
Like, yes, it is. What can I do for you? What can I do for the university?
By summons of the Dean of the University, Dr. Patrick Wolfstan, your presence is requested.
Is it terribly urgent? We kind of have a few things we need to look into.
I just deliver the messages. I'm sure if you came in the morning, it will be fine.
Well, that's good. Okay, thank you very much. This armor, it's what we normally carry. No mind about it.
Very good, sir. I'll just be on my way then. And he's kind of standing there for a minute, looking at you.
Okay. Toodaloo. And I close the door.
And you hear a little
I'm gonna
outside the door.
Supposed to tip the boy.
Yeah, I was gonna open the door and flick them a silver.
Oh, thank you, miss. You're very pretty. Thank you very much. And scampers off into the darkness. I mean, you're not aware of anymore, so he's not,
I know. I just she never
otherwise.
gets called that.
How sincere was the child? Who knows? But you did give him a silver, so he's pretty happy. Yeah. All right. So, do you wish to do anything else before you? Where are you all going to rest here at Quint's place? Are you going someplace else into the city? What is it that you wish to do before you take your rest for the evening?
I'm down with resting. But I don't know how urgent looking for the undead in the lake is.
Well, I'd really like to get those. Well, perhaps those boils could come in handy if we have to investigate the undead in the lake. I hate to say it.
That is... You say I can breathe with water? Oh, right. Yes, you just said that. I'm sorry. I'm not in my right head. That's a point.
We can,
but there's a pretty good chance that he's going to be very sick in the morning.
Yeah, it's a problem.
Unless you take care of it.
Right. I'm definitely taking lesser rest in the morning. I will say, I mean, the dean of Creed Hall University has summoned us. We definitely have to go in the morning, first thing. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Did the boy didn't know, right? We don't know if it's like a right now thing or if it's in the morning.
The boy indicated that coming in the morning would be fine.
Okay, good. Yeah. So we'll definitely have to answer that first thing in the morning. I mean, the dean of Creed Hall University, that's important.
That is a usual assumption. I've been to the university a couple of times, but nothing in any official capacity.
Is anyone getting like Ark villain vibes? Anyone just feel that feeling of how terrible the dean's gonna be?
Yep.
What was the deed's name?
Padrick Wolfstand.
That's a hell of a laugh.
Patrick Wolfstand. Yep, we're fucked.
It's gonna be fine.
He stands wolves.
I was just thinking, I was like, hey, wait a minute.
Hard same.
So, well, that's where I'll be. I'll meet you all out in the university gates first thing in the morning after breakfast. I'm just gonna go home for now, okay?
Okay. You're all welcome to sleep here if you like. I have some rooms above the shop.
That would be very lovely of you.
Right. Okay. And I go back into the back of the shop, and you hear just a couple of snaps, and then just a bunch of clattering. I'm like, oh darn!
Oh.
While this is happening, Ambrosia's gonna slip out, just very quietly, and they're going to kind of again kind of do this like head shake, and from his white hair comes this very like childish kind of face that's kind of they put dirt on and this long kind of scraggly brown hair, and they kind of look down to B and go, we'll get some rest after we pick some pockets. And Ambrosia's gonna go pickpocketing for a bit.
Can you make me so give me a dexterity sleight of hand check.
That's a nat 20.
Oh, what's your modifier? But what's your
With my modifier, that is +2, so 22.
Oh, you don't have a proficiency in sleight of hand?
Oh, do I have proficiency? I feel it. Yes, I do.
Asking, I don't know.
+4. Yeah, proficiency in
Okay.
sleight of hand.
Yeah. So over the course of the this evening, you're able to pick up 1 gold and 12 silver.
Nice.
As you take your rest for the evening, Quint, your sleep is feverish and difficult. You have nightmares of drowning, and in your dreams, the lake itself, as the moonlight shivers upon the lake, upon Loch Riven, in your dreams you can kind of fly over it and look down into the waters, and you see the floor of the lake just covered in the dead bodies accumulated over years of the fishermen who have drowned there or who otherwise have perished in the cold waters of Loch Riven. And in your dreams, you see erupting around the shores of the lake these large metallic arms sprouting out of the ground, reaching into the lake, plucking out the corpses and setting them back on the land. In the morning when you awake, you're even more than before, your all of your extremities, your fingers, toes, etc., are so tingly that they're practically numb. And you find it difficult to you find it difficult to do any kind of fine motor skills sorts of actions. You can do it, you don't, it's just, it's a little bit more difficult, excuse me, for you because of this tingliness and the fever. And if you have any sort of reflective surface, at this point you have these large blue boils all over your face and chest and back. And some of them are oozing slightly. And you don't feel so good.
I Like, well, I wish I could say I've seen worse days, but I think this is actually pretty bad. I assume I probably woke up a little early.
Okay.
Probably, yeah.
You didn't sleep well, so you got the effects of your long rest, but it wasn't super restful. So that, gain back, heal up everybody, and I don't think any of you spent any hit dice.
Yeah. Okay. Awesome. During the night, or as part of the long rest for my class, I wanted to work. Maybe it could have been waking up a little earlier or going to bed a little late. I wanted to work on my armor and reinforce it, and then I wanted to take another sharpening to Annabelle's axe.
Did Annabelle leave her axe?
I probably have the axe with me, but I woke up pretty early. I'm not a late sleeper.
Did you stay at the shop?
I did, yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, I get those sharpened and reinforced, but then I'm still, as I'm working on it, I'm still thinking about that nightmare, and I've tried to work as fast as I can, but I start fumbling stuff and just getting a little flustered, which I don't normally.
Am I near the shop when you, or near your workspace when you're working on the axe and your armor? Is it like visible to the rest of the shop?
I think the rooms are upstairs, so you probably would have heard him if you had woken up early. Like
Okay.
it's a nice shop, but it's not like soundproof.
Okay. I probably would have wandered downstairs then and tried to find you.
And I'm like hacking over like trying not to get anything on your axe, but I'm obviously like finely tuning it, sharpening it, but I also look a little worse for wear. And definitely not like, huh?
There's a reason that you lost a point of charisma.
Yeah, like it yeah, he looks pretty terrible. For someone with full HP, he looks pretty terrible.
Can you actually, before I forget, well, not before I forget, because I did forget, can you, Quint, give me a Constitution save against disease?
Absolutely. With my -2 to Constitution now, a 9 becomes a 7.
Annabelle, as you're watching, just it's early in the morning. You both got up a little bit early, and he's kind of hacking. And finally, at one point, he kind of drops his tools for a moment and just is coughing and coughing, and you see some kind of water and bile coming out of his mouth. And when he looks up, the boils have burst, and there's ooze all over his face. And you, Quint, take that can't be right. No, that's right.
Oh no.
No.
I don't know how many hit points you have.
15.
How many?
15.
Okay, he passes out right there on the table.
Oh,
and cannot regain hit points until the disease is cured, though he can be stabilized as normal.
alrighty then.
I'm at my house, just so y'all know. I'm in my little shack.
Yeah. All right. I'm gonna sort of probably go up to him and nudge him to see if he is out or if he's gonna wake back up for a minute.
Can you give me a death saving throw there, Quint?
Yes.
Thanks, buddy.
10. Oh wait, no. 10. Wait, yeah, 10. 10. Yes.
Yeah, it's just yes, you he's not dead, but he's not in good shape. There's this nastiness all over the table there where he was working.
Do I know where Delilah lives? Would I know that?
Yes, Delilah is purposely very public and open to people because she sees herself as a communal actor.
Then I am going to. Did Ambrosia stay at Quint's?
No, Ambrosia did not stay at Quinn's. Ambrosia's been just out on the town.
All right. Then I am going to pick Quint up, toss him over my shoulder, and head over to Delilah's.
As you're leaving the shop, can you make me another death saving throw, Quint?
Yes.
Yikes.
14.
Okay, that's 2 successes. And then, as you are headed down the road, how far would you say Greenhall is a bustling city? It is not a gigantic metropolis, but it's it's a university town. How far away would you say Delilah's house is from the shop there, Delilah?
So
Hey there,
if
Delilah.
I would live either near the outskirts of town near a forest or near the grave, like one of the larger cemeteries.
Okay.
Or maybe actually even one. Actually, I would live near a smaller cemetery, a less attended to cemetery.
Okay.
Well, generally that.
So, Quint, what about your shop? Are you kind of in the center of town or towards the outside? Okay. So it's
yeah.
It's probably what? I'm sorry.
He's probably close to like some sort of like square, like a place where people do a lot of business.
Would make sense. So yeah, why don't you give me another death saving throw on your way out there?
10.
10. So he's stable, but still unconscious. So Annabelle, as you reach Delilah's, you see that the oozing has stopped finally, and he's still breathing, but he's otherwise not moving.
Knock relatively aggressively on Delilah's door if they're inside, unless they're outside.
I come out from behind the mausoleum. I'm like, can I help? Oh, it's you two.
Good morning. He passed out in front of me, so I thought I should bring him here directly.
You absolutely should have. I thought we'd have a little more time. And I'll step up to Quint and cast Lesser Restoration.
What does it look like as you cast it?
I speak the words of the spell, but I speak them backwards. So instead of a common arcane chant, it goes, instead of going like us, so it goes, and I, doop.
You got it. Very good. So the disease is cured. You see the boils fade back into his skin. The ooze kind of dries up, but now there's still some crustiness on the skin. But now it's just it could be wiped away with a damp cloth, for example. And the breathing becomes less shallow, more calm, and the clamminess of his skin from the fever starts to abate as the fever is broken. You're still unconscious, but the disease has been nullified.
I will use my healer's feet. That was terribly cocked. You heal for 9. Banded him up some more.
Okay.
Am I still holding him when this is happening? Is he just slung over my shoulder during all of this?
I imagine you're cradling him.
Yep, I'm sure I can cradle him. I totally threw him over my shoulder like a sack of potatoes.
Goodbye, Quinty, when the blue rot.
I don't think of me.
As I start coming to, contrary to like my sunny disposition or whatnot, because I just came out of an unconscious state, I like the arms, and I just look around, take a few moments to like catch my bearings, like, oh, hello, hi, what, why am I here, and what happened?
We really can't keep meeting like this. Death is going to keep calling for you, and one of these days I'm not going to be able to save you.
Okay. This has been unprecedented. I'm mostly a shopkeeper. I don't particularly do much of these things. But I suppose.
I don't believe you.
Well, I suppose we should go to the university.
I suppose we should.
I just sort of sidestep that whole comment.
I will use my bonus action to heal you for 4.
Nice.
I'll
How
go
are you
ahead
at-
now.
No, go ahead. Your third level, you're at 15 hit points. I was just thinking about
He has
that.
a -1 con.
Fair point.
Yeah.
Fair point.
So I assume my ability scores are right where they should be now.
Yeah, I cured the disease.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so
So as you reach the gates of the university,
can we have gone back to my shop to pick up my armor?
are you walking around town in your exoskeleton?
Actually, no, not to the university. He I think he doesn't, but he does. He actually carries packs it away and puts it in a pack because it's collapsible.
Wow, it's a heavy pack.
Oh, okay, never mind.
No, I'm saying, I mean, it's up to you. It's just that's a heavy pack to carry around a big exoskeleton is all that I'm saying.
Okay,
But yeah, so you get to the gates of the university, which are in wrought iron, and it says Creed Hall across the top and the crest of the university on these gates. But the gates are open because it's morning time, and there are students and scholars garbed in dark robes. You recognize them. These are robes are typical of the university, kind of bustling to and fro. Some of them carrying tomes. Some of them, engaged in either whispered discussion or animated conversation about various topics as you pass by.
As you approach the gate, there is this young childlike figure that kind of catches pace with you, and she's kind of downing from a hip flask and goes, "God blimey, you guys look bloody dead. You look like you had a shite morning." And as they walk, their features go back into how they usually know Ambrosia in their kind of base form.
In this one place, people barely take notice. Like a couple people see it because you're in the middle, of walking through the through the quad. But this is a university, and odd things happen here. And you reach the administration building. The secretary recognizes from your names, and oh yes, just a moment, and goes off into the back office for a moment. Come back. Oh yes, Dr. Wolfstand will see you now, and that's where we're going to leave it today.
Oh.
We need to finish a little bit early because, as noted, some folks have some Father's Day things going on. And as a father, I am super supportive of that. So happy Father's Day to you, Adam.
thanks.
And to all the other men in father-like situations, right? The uncles, the grandpas, the big brothers, both, whether by blood or by heart, as it were. So happy Father's Day to you all. And as I've said on Twitter, for those who maybe don't have that person in their life, feel free to consider me your honorary uncle, because I love you all and I am here for my friends and family and community here. Let's do a quick wrap up. Not Zaddy's Day.
It is though.
Zaddy. That said, let's go around real quick. Tell people who you are, where you can find you on the internet, and what your favorite moment today was. And we're going to start with Emma.
Hello. Hi. Yes, that's me, Emma. You can find me at MK Hansen on Twitter. My favorite moment from today, it's minor, but it truly was my favorite, was when just after we left, when the Ambrosia popped their head back in and said, "Boo." That was a great little moment. I love that so much.
Excellent. That was fun for sure. Val.
Oh, hello, I'm Val. I am at the Nerdy Niffler on Twitter, and you can find me here on Variant Roles again this Saturday with Emma and Matthew for Saltmarsh at 6 p.m. EDT, and then again for Gothic Brunch the next day. And my favorite moment was it's just I've never got to play a charismatic character in D&D, so it's just so much fun to play someone with charisma and just be like, it'll just be like a chatty chat. So I really like, but specifically, I really like the little exchange between Delilah and Ambrosia at the very beginning, because that was really nice.
Yeah, and you, to be sure, you certainly did play this character today with charisma for sure. I felt it. It was there. Pun Bard.
Yes, I am Adam. You can find me on Twitter at Peter Voss. I'm also known as the hashtag Pun Bard. I make daily D&D puns 4 times a day. So if you do like that sort of humor, and if you like dad jokes, I mean, that's the place to go. So yeah, for all your joking needs. And my favorite part of today, this was my first time playtesting, so this class is so far working exactly as I thought it would. Terribly when out of armor.
Excellent. And my friend Matthew.
That's me. I am Matthew Foreman. I'm at Matthew W. Foreman on Twitter. I'm a Dungeons and Dragons and tabletop RPG content creator and designer. You could find me here many times a week, and you could also find me over at Dice Priori many times a week, for the love of God. But I live for it, and it's a great time. So my favorite moment, I really, really enjoyed Jack's opening stuff. I thought that was really, really strong. I thought it was, sorry, John. A really strong wing open. You did a really good job, Val. And I also enjoyed saying, "I don't believe you," to quit. I love being like that. I love shit like that. So those are great.
It was good.
It was a great session.
So, again, I'm Kyle, Technoscald on Twitter. I occasionally write a blog on D&D and Dungeon World and role-playing games in general at technoscald.me occasionally. I am here, obviously, now on Sundays for Gothic Brunch, coming up soon for the final level of Dungeon of the Mad Mage. We're working out the scheduling on that, where I will be DMing and playing the titular role of the Mad Mage. So that's going to be fun times. I had many moments that I loved, to be sure, but my favorite moment was the tarot reading at the beginning with Jonathan, because I sprung that on Val with no notice whatsoever on purpose, because she had done such a fantastic job with the tarot. I didn't know you were actually printing some out. That was amazing. I had just seen the list, and I was like, I don't know what this is. So very quickly before we go, again, this is Pride Month, so all of the bits, donations, subscriptions, whatever that's coming into Variant Roles is going to Trans Lifeline, a charity to support trans folks who need support and all of those things. So feel free to shower generosity upon them. And if you certainly want to do that on your own, then they won't say no to helping them out in other ways. So happy Pride to all of you. Other content that's coming up tonight at 8 Eastern, 7 real time, is Urban Shadows with our friend Matt here and other fantastic people. It's a Powered by the Apocalypse game of kind of urban fantasy, and it's so good. Tomorrow night at 8 Eastern is Ravnica game that I believe Emma is in.
Right.
From what I saw last week. This Tuesday, so Tuesday evenings this month, we have different Pride events. This week, it's going to be Trash Pandas, something about raccoons raiding a Pride parade, or
Queer
I'm
crash.
not. Yeah, it sounds fascinating, and it was just, I was like, yeah, and then okay, yeah, okay, yes, I'm in for it. So that's going to be Tuesday. You can see the schedule here on Twitch. Thursday is Monty Cook Games mixtape, which along with the Saturday night games is Invisible Sun, and all kinds of surreal urban fantasy, which is its own different thing. Saturday mornings or early afternoon, Emma hosts with other people Pride Brunch, which is not a game; it's a chat show, talk show panel. So it is fantastic and love, and it's so good. A couple of other quick thanks. Thank you to Variant Roles for letting us stream on this channel. Thank you to Nox Noctua, who did these fantastic um, overlays. The Twitch overlay is wonderful and was custom made by her. So much love, many thank yous to that, and to Tabletop Audio for some of the music that we used at the beginning. I sponsored them on Patreon, and if you like their stuff, you should too. Did I miss anything else important about the channel before we say goodbye?
Oh, there is, I think, I just remembered I'm in another game, Mad
Myths.
Mage on Thursday, and Old Myths.
Old
on
Myths.
Saturday.
Old Myths, is
Doesn't
that
that launch?
starting today or next week?
I think it's starting today.
Yeah,
Okay.
in 40
so-
minutes.
There it is. Yep. Old Myths, 3 p.m.
Okay, 3 p.m. Excellent. So that will be fantastic. Looking forward to that. And I did forget one other thing, and I'm so sorry that I forgot, but now I remembered, so I don't have to be too sorry, which is that Emma is hosting and DMing on stream on Saturdays, Saltmarsh in a Pride game. Is that right, Emma?
Yep, that's right. Saturday, Saltmarsh, 6 p.m. Eastern.
All right. It's 6 p.m. Eastern, 5 o'clock for the rest of us. I say that because half of the people on the stream right now are all Central Time. So, bully for us. All right. Well, thanks, everybody. I had a great time. I'm looking forward to doing this for the next few months with y'all. And we should be on for next week, the 23rd. But we will not be playing on the 30th. There's some folks have some family things. Is that the right? Do I have the schedule right, Emma?
Yep, that's right.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. So, bye, everybody. Enjoy. Stay on for in half an hour for Old Myths, and we will talk to everybody later. Bye.